welcome to this video. In this video, we will learn about JavaScript with the help of making a small project. And this project name is ToDo List. In this project, I want you to understand that we will divide the project into three parts, like the first HTML, then the mm, styling, and the JavaScript part, right? So for this, of course, you need your IDE, and the IDE I've chosen as the Visual Studio Code. You can have your own, and in case uh, if you want to see the code, I will let you know the code right here. I will let you know the URL of the project. So first of all, let's create our files. So right now I will create HTML. So right now I have opened my index.html, and here we will start with our basics, which means we will create our the body. We will put our elements and tags and all of those stuff. So let's start with it, and I will give it the title of to-do list. So inside our head, we need linking to uh, an URL, which is basically the URL to Font Awesome, because in our website we will be using some icons and all those stuff. For that we will be using this thing, and let me get the link for you of the URL. Just a second. And all right, so this is the link of the Font Awesome. And what else do we need? We need to create a style sheet also, and this we will link normally, link, and the name, style sheet. So far that's good. And next to what we need is that we need to create some elements inside our body tag. So first of all, the elements which we need is that we we need a section where we need a section first of all for the heading, like what is we are calling this thing, right? And to do that, let me write header, and here I will put as h1 and put my name here. You can call it whatever you want, it's up to you. So this is just the heading. So next thing is that in our to-do list, let me tell you what is going to happen. So in our to-do list, there will be this. Let's suppose this is the page. Fine. Then our to-do list, the heading is here. Then there will be a section where you will insert the text, and there will be a button to submit the text. And here we will add a filter button, and whatever you text put up here, it will display right in the below, just like this. And with every to-do list, there will be two buttons. One will be check and one will be trash button. So when you will click on check button, it will cross the whole writing, and it will get fade. And whenever you will click on the trash button, it will get deleted. Fine. So far this is the thing which we are trying to build. So for that, first of all, to get the input, we need to create a form. And let me start with form. Let's remove the action. So in the form, first of all, we need to get the text from the user, and for that we will use input, and type is text, and we have given the class of ToDo input. Fine. And next, as I told you, there will be a button, and the button is more like and the button will have the class of an icon. So first of all, let's put up the button here, and you can see that I have given it a class of ToDo button and a type of submit. Why I have given the type of submit? Because whenever I click on it, it will it will create an action for the form, because I have given it a type submit. And here I have to give class for the icon, and for icon we put I, sorry, and I dot, the class is FAS plus square. So it will look like a plus type button, and this icon will look like a plus, which will reside inside the button. Okay, so this is the part of the button for inserting text. Next, as I told you, I want to filter it, and for filter I will create a class of select, and in select we will use the tag of select. So here the name I will give todos, and the class I don't need the ID, and the class I need is let me see, so class filter to do. All right, so we got the select, and under inside select we need few options, and the options will be given as like this. Okay, so what we have done till now, let me tell you. So till now we have created a form inside which we have a button, and also this options, right? And let me show you how is it looking right now. Just give me a second. So now you can see it is Shibam's to-do list, and there is a button of type submit, and inside that there is the icon, and here is the select option, and there is all complete and uncompleted. So moving on, we will go with let me show you my, okay, all right. So moving on, what we need is that the form section is done, but now we need to display our all the list. And to do that, what we need, just right after form we need this code. So in this code, what is there, that inside a div of class to do container, I have stated an unordered list. So inside this unordered list we will render all the input which the user will be given with the help of JavaScript. And to get the help of JavaScript, we of course need to give the script tag, and just below the body, above the body. Okay, all right. And we will need to create app.js. All right. So before going to this thing, the JavaScript, let me add some. Let me do some CSS, because in here let me get the CSS code, because it is really not important the CSS code, but I'll still make you go through it in case if you don't get any part of that. Let me get the whole CSS. All right. Okay. So in here you can see the star is the normal CSS which we give to everything, and the body I've given a background linear gradient, and the color is there and everything. Let me remove the font. and then the WebKit scroll bar. So this is I've given in case because if there is a scroll anywhere, then the width I've given 0 and height of 0. Okay, so the message, this thing I will explain with you later. I will keep it for the later part, and the span as this. All right, all right, cool. Okay, so the next is that the form button and form input. Okay, so the button I've given some color and all those stuff, and right here the only thing which is interesting is that you can see I've given trash button and complete button, but there is no trash button here or complete button here. So why I've given this? Because with the help of JavaScript, we will provide it trash button and complete button. And whenever we provide it the trash button, it will get this property for it from the style.css. And similarly, there are other things like the fall. The fall is will be given, like you can see the fall is showing what, that it will transform, it will show a animation and the opacity will get 0. Fine. So this is when we are deleting the list. And similarly, there are others like select.after and all those stuff. So I've given some media query just to make it a little bit responsive, nothing else. And this is the animation, like what the animation I want for the slide. All right. So yeah, that's it. And next, moving on, we will go with the JavaScript. So this video about JavaScript, I will put up the code. I will show you the code and I will let you know what all things is this. First of all, in case if you get lost or you want to do it on your own, then you can get to this link and you can get all the codes right here. Okay, so moving on, when we deal with JavaScript, first of all, think it in this way that we will divide into three parts: the selectors, the event listener, the functioning, adding to-do list and deleting from the to-do list and filtering the to-do list. Okay, if this sounds crazy, then let me write it down here. Okay, okay, okay. All right. So the first part is selectors, second part is giving event listener, third part is the function. So the functions, we will provide three types of function: adding the to-do list, deleting the to-do list, and filtering the to-do list. Alright, so let's start with selectors. Selectors are what? First thing is that we need to select the tags, classes, or IDs, whatever is provided in the HTML file, to target them and do work with them. This will make easier to put event listener and functions to them. To get this done, we will first declare a constant variable and use document.query selector and following it by class name. So let me get you the whole selectors right. Yeah. All right. All right. So what I've done, I got the to do input, which is let me show you when I share it like this. Just give me a second. Okay. So this is it. So now you can see the to do input. I got it from the to do input class. So here is the to do input card class. I have selected this. I have selected to do button. I have selected to do list, and also I have selected filter to do this thing along with the message. So this thing is basically, so the message is not there right now. I understand that. So the message is required, not yet, but I will tell you what is the message part also, because remember there is few bits in the HTML in the CSS which I left. Let me tell you. So let me go with the first JavaScript part. So after selecting all the tags from the HTML file, now it's time to put the event listeners. Fine. So the event listeners will go like this. That what is event listener? Event listener is that let's say we can add event listeners to all the selectors. Event listeners are used to put some event or action to a section of HTML file, such as performing a function on a click of mouse. This is also an event, right? So here also we will add events. To do this, we will use the selector name and put add event listener inside the apprentices. We will first provide event followed by function we want to call on that event. There are many types of events such as click. So now we selected all these things. Now we want to add the event listeners. To event listeners, what we do first, we need to write which we want to give event listener. Let's say to do button, and then we write add event listener, and then we mention on which event we want to perform, and then followed by what function do we want to perform. And here I am giving the name as add to do. All right. So in this small project, we will need three event listeners and three event listener. Let me put this here. All right. So these three event listeners we need. All of them are on click event listeners. Fine. So moving on, you can see there are three event listeners with three functions. So we will require to add three functions of same names. So the function here we will work on how we will get the data, then input it and even sort them. So first is adding to-do list. So we will start with this. So adding to-do list is like when we declare the function, what we need to keep in mind is that whatever we are getting from the user, we first need to save it. Then we need to create an element. Let me tell you like this. Just a second. All right. So, okay. Okay. So, this is the part where we get the input, right? So on click, when we get the input, let's say A, B, C, this is the input we got from the user. So first of all, we need to create an element, let's say li, and it is also has a closing tag, and we need to put this inside that. And this whole li will be inside another element, and this element we need to put it in our HTML tag in our website, like this here. And to do this, we append. Okay, I hope this clears it quite bit. And let me show you the code now. So the code we will be using here is that first of all, I'll declare the function, and the name of the function is given at to do. I will pass a parameter. I will let you know why. And the main reason why I pass the parameter is because when we click on the button, or when we click on the submit button, you saw that the page get refreshed, right? So we don't want that, and to prevent that, we will put as prevent default. So this will prevent our page to get refreshed. Now we what I told you, that we need to create elements, and to create elements we use this following. Like first of all, let's initialize the constant of to-do div. Okay, and in to-do div we want to initialize, we want to state the element, and to do that we do document dot create element and the name of the element what you want. So right now I want a div element, div tag. I will let you know what all things are happening after I write down the code. So I got the div element. Now inside the div element I want to add a class. So the div element is now to-do div. So to add a class, I will add class to to-do div. So let's select to-do div dot, and to add class what we do, class list and then add. Now the class what I want inside this will be to do. Okay, so far so good. Yes. So I got the class. Now it's time to create the list elements, and to do that we will simply what I just did now. I will create the element of li like this, and then in the to do I will add class this. But here is a small thing. Remember we got the event, so the event consists the parameters. So the parameters or the arguments what we are getting inside the functions are having the values what the user has put inside the form. And to get that what we do, we will select the li element and put the text inside it, the value of to do input what we got earlier, like just a second, and put it inside the inner text. And if you are thinking where the to do input is coming from and how we are getting the value, the to do in the value we are getting with the help of dot value, and the to do input is nothing but this thing, the to do input, which is the part of to do input class, and the to do input class is the input text where the user has given it all the like all the list which he wants to add. So this is the thing. So what we have done, we created the div, we added the class inside, and we created an li element, we added the class. Now the thing is that we want to put it together now. Okay, so to put it together, okay, so before that there is another thing. Remember there is this, let me show you, let me tell you. Here we have given this trash button and other stuff, this thing. So we will include this also. So how to include that? So for that it is very simple, nothing but what we have just done, we have to do it similarly, but for the check and trash mark. Let me copy the code for you here. So similarly what I have done, I have created an element of button. Inside the button I have put the whole HTML text like this, and then I've added a class and this thing, the append. So what is happening, that the to do div, this thing which is the main div, is having these classes. So with the help of this what is happening, that whatever I am putting it inside all of these things, it will eventually get inside div element. All right. Okay, so I think I'm missing one thing, is that to do div is getting, sorry, so the complete button is getting appended inside div. All right, the trash button is getting appended inside div, all right, but the to-do list is the list is yet to be appended inside the div. So to do that, I will put here now. So the now to-do list, the li element will also get append inside the div. So let me tell you what just happened is that we created a div, we created li, we created checkbox, we created trash button. So inside div, we appended li, we appended I, we appended trash. Okay, so the next thing will be inserting this whole thing inside the HTML. So to do all those things, we need to append it again inside this. And to do this, let me show you my code screen. Yeah. So here, after all of this, we just need to add few things like to add the to-do list. Okay, so there is one thing. Let me add it first, then I will tell you what is this all about. So this thing, what is this thing? It is actually, remember when we are typing the input, it will get the input and then I need the input to get clear. So we are using this empty quotes in order to clear the input. So this is done. Similarly, now it's time for the delete, and to add the delete we will use same way, like adding the, just a second. So in the deleting, what we want is that actually in the deleting we will add two of the things. The first thing will be like putting up the function for the right button, like when we are clicking on the tick button, and then the function for if we are clicking on the trash button. And for that again we will pass the parameter. Let me function, what is the name, delete check, delete check. Let me pass e. Inside this, let me copy the code. So here you can see that first of all it is getting the particular element and seeing what the thing we have chose, and once we get the item, and then we will check if the class is 0, which means the first class, that is trash button, then we want it to add the class of fall, and then there is this small thing and I will tell you what is this. And if the class is not equals to 0, it is equals to not trash button but complete button, then we toggle this completed class. So here I have not written add, which means toggle means that we can switch it back and forth. So we, if we click on complete again, then it will toggle, like the complete class will get removed. So here this function, what it does that after we add the add class, then it will do some animation which we have provided right here, testing. And when the animation is finished, means transition this event, then the function of to do dot remove, which means that the particular to do element will get removed. All right, so this is our function of deleting, and the last function would be to filter it. And to filter it, it is simple yet again. Let me just copy the whole function. Yeah, so to filter it, first of all we got the e as a parameter, then we have the class nodes in the to do's, and for each class node what we are doing, we are using a switch case. So the e dot target dot value, if the value we have chose from the filter as all, then we will display all the things, like we will give it a flex. if it is written completed, then all the to-do list which is having contains, which is means which is containing the class named completed will be displayed, or else nothing will be displayed. And rest is uncompleted, which means all the class which is containing the completed name class, it will display, and rest all will not get displayed. So this is the whole project. Moving on, remember I told you about this thing. So what is this thing? It means that we are putting in some let's say, what do you say, we are putting in some sort of, just give me a second. Okay, we are inserting the values right from the user. What if the value is not, like, what if the value is blank? So when the value is blank, we want it to show an alert. And in order to show some alert, what we will do, let me open up my index.html, and just give me a second. And right here I have this small piece of code. Let me put it here, uh, above the header. Okay, so here this small piece of code has a exclamatory mark, and it is showing it is blank test. But I don't want it to show every time. I want it to show only when there is a blank text. And in order to verify if it is a blank text or not, what we do, this is very simple, yet it will create a very big difference, is that whatever is there in front of you, we will put inside the if condition, like this everything. Okay, I will just cut it, and I will get the if condition, which means that if something happens like this, if to do input dot value trim is not, trim means when we get all the data and get it collected, if it is not equal to blank, then we want to display this. Else, what otherwise what we want to display the message what we have right on the website. But here you can see the message is like, we will add the class of show, then the will add message will pop up, and we gave it a set timeout, which means that the message will be shown only for 2 seconds. 2000 milliseconds equal to 2 seconds. After that, the show element class will remove, which means that the message will get removed from the website or your page. So this was the small project about learning more about JavaScript. And let me see if I can get you the link of the project. Let me give me a second. Okay, I'm sharing my screen in order to, if you can see the result. All right, so here you can see this is the result. If I add hello, it shows. If I add how are you, okay, and if I click on click, it is showing that done. If I click on trash button, it will get deleted. Now if I try to insert something which is not present, then to show it is a blank text. So that's it. Thank you. I hope you understood. See you in the next video.